North Korea finally makes it back into the news again. I guess little Rocket Man was getting jealous of the cardboard Ayatollah getting all the attention. Kim Jong un was overseeing some new weapons testing, as he often does. It looks like from this title, they were testing new warheads, technology, and navigation in latest launches. What got the international community's attention this time was South Korea reported that they detected North Korea conducting a lot of live fire activity, to include the launch of a short range ballistic missile. There was also a cruise missile involved, which was a part of North Korea's modernization efforts, and one or both of these were nuclear capable. Overall, the report said that Kim Jong un is pleased with the outcome and progress of the modernization efforts. He said that he wants to ensure that his southern border is stronger than ever and that, I quote, no one can match. Now, it's assessed that he's been able to conduct these modernization efforts through the help of Putin, as North Korea sent thousands of North Korean troops to aid Russia in their war with Ukraine. And in return, Russia gave them money, resources, and equipment, and probably assistance in modernizing their technology to include their nuclear capability. It is also worth noting that Kim Jong un has shifted his focus from reunification, which was his family's long term wish and legacy, to viewing South Korea as an enemy that they can no longer tolerate. But while there is change in rhetoric and modernization in their technology, overall, the military position of North Korea has not changed. They still have a 1 million-man army on the border with hundreds of thousands of artillery aimed at Seoul. And that is the entire reason they were able to develop a nuclear weapon, is that they had a strong enough defense by way of a 1 million-man army and a mined border, and a strong enough offense by way of a large artillery capability that would kill millions in the first hour if ever attacked. And so there was nothing left to do but to conduct diplomacy that ultimately failed and allowed them to attain a nuclear weapon. And that is about the only comparison you can draw between North Korea and Iran, is that North Korea does not have a stated goal of destroying South Korea or their neighbors. They do not have a stated goal or conduct actions to do those very things. Everything North Korea does is based on regime survivability, and they've been able to survive through benevolence in the black market. Benevolence being that the food aid they would receive after enough saber rattling, eventually South Korea or some United Nations situation would allow them to receive a lot of food aid. And then, of course, they would take all that packaging and repackage it and say it came from their benevolent dictator. Or the black market by way of China, Russia, and sadly European nations that would still do business with North Korea. But all that doesn't stop the famine and malnourishment that the population goes through. Hell, they eat their grass. The population growth has declined to the point where the average male has lost anywhere from 1 to 3 inches in comparison to their South Korean counterparts. It's a real Hunger Games type situation on that part of the peninsula. But they pose no existential threat to our allies, unlike Iran.